the Eagles looked like they had some good offense running after a nice rush from Watson. Instead, a couple of misplays, a couple of good tackles, and aggressive defense, and now a delay of game penalty for the Eagles, and a 4th and 8. They will kick it away. And the kick is good. It's going to be short. Everybody from Edward Little staying out. It will be marked out at the 42-yard line.
He really had to think about that one.
Yeah, well, slower steps, and finally he stopped at the 42. So,
right, yeah.
1st and 10 from their own 42. Eddies will get the ball for the second time. A lot of stuff working for them on offense in that first set, Matty. Throw and run. Big run by Hartley and a big pass out to Thomas.
This is a big series for them. This is the one thing that I think a lot of people have wondered about Edward Little is, can they come out, can they really stomp on a team? They've done it with Massabesic. Windham is a quality opponent, in-division opponent. See what they can do here on this drive.
Bunched receivers to his left. It'll be a pitch out to Bigos on the left-hand side. He's got a lane. He cuts back inside, pick up a 2. 2nd and 8. He's out to the 51 and a half.
Should be the Windham 48.5-yard line.
Yeah,
I'll say.
how about that? The 51 and
you
a half
know what?
yard
I've
line.
been doing that for years. I still do that. It's funny. It's super funny. That was a great job there by Bigos to actually see where the cut lane was, but he made sure to make the cut quick. A lot of times when guys go east to west on that run, they kind of keep going east to west and they never make that cut north. He had decided he was going to make that cut north and made it immediately so he could gain that yardage.
4 wide, Girard in motion. Hartley back to pass. He'll hit Bell in the flat, pick up a 4. It'll be 3rd and 5 from the 45.
Max with 2 X's just in case you missed him on the field.
2 of them.
Two of them.
Leads the conference in receiving. You got the top 2 receivers here in Class A North in Max Bell and Xavier Weaver. Talented offensive set here. 3 wide receivers, shotgun formation again. Bigos in the backfield with Hartley, the big senior signal caller. Back to pass, he's looking left. Quick pass out to Weaver. Weaver collects it. He's met immediately. Still being brought down. Pick up a maybe 1. So it's going to be 4th and 3.
Decision time here. Do you haul out the old fake that you've been wanting to run? Do you see something? Or do you try to pin Windham deep and make them try to go the length of the field on you?
Saw them run it here against Oxford Hills successfully. It's a dangerous option here. Certainly, the thing is Hartley's the punter.
Right.
So he's going to be back there in punt formation. You got to be nervous about whether or not he just wants to tuck it and throw. I think they're going to go with a play call here, and they are. 4 wide receivers set. This time, Bigos off to Hartley's right. Hartley's looking to throw. He's looking out to the right-hand side, and it's tipped away. Bernier almost picked it.
That was a close call out there. You don't. If that had been before week 2, Tanner Bernier might have taken that.
3 wide to his left. Read option. He'll hand it off right away. Met immediately. No gain. 2nd and 10. Ball carrier was Valère. Trevor
Valère.
Valère, a very talented guy. Typical fullback, but gets a lot of big runs out to the edge.
Ton of them.
Under center again, I formation. Wide receivers to his right and left. And it's a handoff to Valère again. Pick up a 2. Be 3rd and 8 from the 45. Just shy of the 45-yard line is where they mark it. Weaver off the field now. A couple of different substitutions. Ricky Cody in. So Bernier in the shotgun, 2 wide to his left. They're going to look at the replacement. No doubt. Windham did that. We saw them target freshmen before. Bernier to pass. Wanted to pass to the right. Didn't have it. He'll tuck it, keep it. All the way out past the first down marker. Across the 50 and out to Edward Little's 45-yard line. Just past the 45. Max Bell was the lone Red Eddie in the way of Bernier. He busted through the middle there, Matty.
That was a really good play by Bernier. And, you know, Matt Perkins said earlier today when he spoke with us on the B-List Daily that he thought Bernier was healthy enough to start running plays again. and be able to call a couple of running plays for him without feeling like you're putting him out there on an island. And right there, I think he proved his coach right.
Used a lot in this offense. Again, from the shotgun is Bernier. He's looking to pass out to the left. He'll throw, and incomplete. Dropped, tipped up in the air, and with 3:04 to go here in the first quarter, trailing 7-0, it's going to be 2nd and 10 for the Eagles. First time they've been in Red Eddie territory. Aggressive defense from Edward Little. Prides themselves on conditioning and fitness.
A lot of guys that excel at these levels tend to do that.
4 wide again in the shotgun for Bernier. Looking to pass. Passes out to Cedre, and he's caught right away at the 50. A loss of 5. Tackler was number 3 for Edward Little. That's Josh Kaiser. Nice play by Kaiser to get into the backfield. 5'10", 189-pound junior.
Dare I say he rolled him there?
He did. He most certainly did.
I just, I feel like that would be the way to look at it.
That worked. That worked. Under center of Bernier, I formation, 2 to his left. Play action, he's looking down the field. Big pass to Coffin, and he just dropped it. Boy, Coffin got behind that tier of the defense, and he was there and open.
That was the type of play that you really need as you got an injured Windham player on the field, which is exactly what they need right now. They need a talented player injured because they've had so many of them already this year. It's the last thing Windham needs right now is to have another injured player on the field.
I am hopeful this is a case that Mr. Coffin might have got the wind knocked out of him. He kind of popped right back up. That's exactly what happened. You stretch out like that and you leave your belly exposed, and if you don't catch the ball and land hard on your stomach, you lose your air quick, and it can be pretty panicky. Right away, he popped back up. I don't even think the training staff got all the way out to him and scooted off.
That's good news.
4th and 13 is where we're at here. 2:22 to go. The ball is officially marked inside the 50, so it's at the Edward Little 49-yard line. And punt formation for the Eagles, though Coffin is their punter. Don't have a number on their punter. Bell back to receive for Edward Little. Punt is high. Bell not interested in touching it. Windham will let it roll to a stop. And at the 15-yard line, it'll be Red Eddie football, 1st and 10 with 2:11 to go here in the first quarter.
That'll give them a little chance here with 2:11 in the first quarter to get some things going here. Up 7-0, 85 yards to glory. Of course, next week we'll have Edward Little at Lewiston next week from the fine confines of Garcelon Field.
Great game, great venue.
Big time battle of the bridges here.
Yeah, going to be a heck of a game next week. Really good.
Get to use the Bates Internet next week as well, which
nice?
We're really excited about that.
High-end stuff.
Edward Little looking to stay undefeated on the year. We'll have to get a win tonight to do that.
4 wide again here for Hartley. He'll send a man in motion. And he hands it off inside. B goes to the ball carrier. Down after a pickup of 3. So it's going to be 2nd and 7. Very, very, very deliberate here is Edward Little. No rush whatsoever.
It's interesting to have a high-powered offense like this kind of run with a ball control. You don't see that a lot. A lot of times with running teams you'll do that, but not with passing teams.
Man in motion again. This time Hartley hands it off. Bell's the ball carry out to the left-hand side. He's to the 30. He's cuts back into the 40. Tackled out at the 44-yard line. Boy, it looked like he was going to step out a couple of times. It was Nate Watson that got in the way. Forced him back to the inside. Big first down there from the Eddies and Max Bell in the open field.
25-yard run there from Max Bell. They're going to mark him down just shy of the 43-yard line. That was a good job by the Edward Little line to hold the line and also not commit an illegal holding there, because you see that a lot on those plays here at this level.
Stay disciplined. Shotgun and 3 to his right. Hartley looking to pass. Completed out at the 40 and a pickup of 6 yards. It's just shy of the 50. Hamill is the receiver. So out to the Edward Little 49, and with 50 seconds to go here, we'll see if Edward Little get one more play in here. It's 2nd and 4, ahead 7-0 in this football contest.
Tell you, this Edward Little squad moving with a deliberate pace, something you don't see a lot from the passing teams. They take it down and about ready to burn through the entire first quarter here, up 7-0.
Shotgun again, 3 wide to his left. Hartley pitches it to Bigos. Bigos runs out to the right-hand side. Pickup of 3. Boy, close to that first down marker. He'll be shy of it. So it's going to be 3rd and 1. It'll be less than 1 officially. No, it'll be 3rd and 1 officially, but less than 1 unofficially. There you go, for those of you following at home.
And that's going to wrap up the first quarter.
Okay, heads up. Number 7, no longer Josh Hamill. Number 7 is officially Xavier Weaver.
Ah, okay. Well, now that we know that.
So that pass to Hamill was actually to Weaver.
Okay. Now we know.
Okay.
Now, what time did you get those rosters today?
No, that just happened because he started in 84.
Oh, okay.
So he changed, something happened, maybe bloodborne pathogens, shall we say.
Could have been anything. We'll take a break. We'll be right back. It's the game of the week.
Falmouth Orthopedic Center. Central Maine Orthopedics. OA Centers for Orthopedics. All playing on the same team. Maine's top orthopedic practices have joined forces for more efficient and affordable orthopedic care. Introducing Spectrum Orthopedics.
Our goal here at Maine Athletic Fundraising is to raise your program or group the most amount of money possible in the shortest amount of time, hassle-free.
Over the last 3 years, we've been able to raise over $10,000 every year, which has really allowed us to get the extra stuff the kids really need to run a successful program.
One of our biggest goals at Maine Athletic Fundraising is to really develop a relationship on the ground with the coaches, the community, and the boosters that are involved, and help bring them together and understand how important it is to fundraise.
It's the pitch. He rolls out. He's got a lot of pressure and throws it as he's being brought down. Ton of pressure in the backfield. It was number 26 for Windham. George Butts broke into the backfield, caused all kinds of disruption for Hartley, and he had to throw it away.
That play just didn't work from the beginning, really. It's one of those things where you wake up in the morning and you're like, I probably should have woke up on the other side of the bed. And that's how that play was. Nothing went right from the beginning on that. And
nothing at all.
Hartley actually did well to get rid of it, but maybe not throw it too far in the air next time.
Gets it again, pistol formation. This time hands it off to Bigos. Bigos through the line. He'll get the first down for sure. Only needed 1. He got probably 2.
It's a good job there to spread them out a little bit. Open that middle up a little bit so they can get that yardage. When you get Bigos going north-south, you're probably not going to stop him with such a low center of gravity, especially when he's got some momentum behind him, which he did there.
Ball marked out at the Windham, down at the Windham 45-yard line. Eddie's 1st and 10. 11 and a half minutes to go here in the first half of play. Hartley in the shotgun formation, 4 wide set. He's looking to pass. Rolls out to his left-hand side. He'll give it to Bigos, but overthrows it. It was his check down option. Didn't have anything down the football field, so was going to give it off to Bigos, but just put it over his head too far. So 2nd and 10 here. Stops the clock with 11:26 to go.
They got some plays that are open. When they go back and look at the film on this one, they're going to see a lot of stuff that they left out there on the field that they're going to be able to utilize next week or maybe the week after.
Yep.
Or, well, if they probably won't have a week after. They'll have a bye week that week. But, game after.
All the way through November if they can, right?
Right.
4 wide set again. Bell, the man in motion. It's handed off to Bell. Sweep to the left-hand side. Flag down. It's going to be a hold. And that's exactly what it is. So that one's going to come on back. Maybe.
Patience by Bell there to follow his line and wait for the blocking to continue. But sometimes when you're a little too patient, your line holds on a little too long. talking earlier about the play that Bell had down the other side, they were able to do that without holding. But a lot of times on those long runs, especially when they take a little while before they run out to the north-south, if they're not as quick on it, it can cause those issues, which is what happened there.
10 yards from the spot of the foul, put the ball all the way back at the Edward Little 44-yard line, 43.5-yard line here. So it'll be 2nd and 21. 11 minutes to go here in the first half.
If you're playing the old video game NFL Blitz, this would just be a normal. It would have been first and 30.
That's right.
Yeah. So now it's 2nd and 21.
Hartley out of the shotgun, out to Bell, and he missed it. Trying to make those throws on the run.
Just off the hands there. Maybe get your feet set and throw it out in front of him a little bit where he can catch that in stride. If he catches that in stride, probably got about 12 to 13 yards there, maybe more.
And take that extra time to just set those feet and get a good ball delivered out in front of Bell. He's a talented kid if you can get him the ball with some space.
Such a it's such a major advantage as a high school team to have a quarterback who can make throws like that, so that you have an offense that can make plays like that. So, short down situations aren't always run.
Shotgun formation, Hartley under all kinds of pressure. He scrambles out to his left-hand side. He's got all kinds of room to run. He's out to the 30-yard line. He's marked out all the way to the 25. It'll be a first down easily. Big run. 31-yard pickup that time by Hartley.
Hartley did a great job on that play of not only keeping it alive, but also fighting off tacklers. Not a lot of quarterbacks out there that are big enough to be able to do that. And he was smart enough to move the ball to his left hand, not his right, when he was over on the left sideline, which, if he fumbles, odds are it's probably going to go out of bounds.
It's a big kid moving well in space. Big run set them up for a score in the first quarter. Hartley again from the shotgun, 4 wide receivers he's looking to pass. Out to his right-hand side and throws it out to Bell. Bell collects it, and he's brought down at the 15-yard line.
Max Bell.
Be a pickup of 15. And another first down for the Red Eddies. 10-19 to go.
Max Bell, another great Edward Little athlete in space, getting the ball in space so that he can do things.
Hartley awaiting the play call. Looking over to the sideline. Coach Sterling signals it in. 4 wide set yet again. Hartley in the shotgun. This time he's looking to pass. He's looking left. Pressure, and he's sacked. All the way back at the 30-yard line. It was Butts and, I believe, Valaire.
That was another big-time play by the Windham defense. I'll tell you what, Windham is down some players for one reason or another. But I'll tell you what, they're doing a good job on the defensive side of the ball, giving it everything they've got, and they've gotten a lot of pressure on Hartley tonight.
Those are the kind of plays that you can't have if you're little. That negative kind of working backwards, constantly moving in the wrong direction. The idea here is you got to keep moving forward here. You're playing with that 7-point lead. 9:15 to go here in the first half. Yet again, Hartley in the shotgun. 4 wide, Bigos with him. He's looking to the left. Pass out to Weaver. Caught. And all the way back down to the original line of scrimmage. It'll be an 11-yard gain. And 3rd and 10.
Another advantage a lot of teams in Maine high school football don't have, being able to throw on after a big penalty, big loss, anything like that. Usually a penalty or a big loss on a sack like that dooms the drive.
And they're playing off coverage, so the idea is you can throw that ball out there. If you're going to give Weaver that much space, it's easy to complete that pass and give him a few running steps anyway to get going. Tight formation here. Snap is away. Hartley looking to pass. He connects over the middle. It's Girardin. Touchdown, Eddies. It's a 15-yard pass. Hartley to Girardin. And with 8:19 to go, the Red Eddies lead 13-0.
Girardin did a great job there finding the hole and finding the spot to settle down in. Hartley did a good job of getting him the ball where he could catch it and make a move with it. And then Girardin did the rest of the work, getting it into the end zone. 13-0, 8:19 remaining here in the first half.
Instead of spreading those wide receivers out, they pulled them in close to the ends, to the tackles. Windham not quite sure what to do. That freed Girardin up in the middle, and Hartley did the right thing, found him at the right time. Girardin now, after scoring the touchdown, he'll be the holder. We'll try to kick the PAT for Edward Little. Snap is away. Hold is good. Kick is up. It's left, but good. 14-0 Edward Little. 8:19 to go here in the first half. This is the CMCC Hammond Lumber Game of the Week, presented by MBR on Maine's Big Z.
Falmouth Orthopedic Center. Central Maine Orthopedics. OA Centers for Orthopedics. All play on the same team. Maine's top orthopedic practices have joined forces for more efficient and affordable orthopedic care. Introducing Spectrum Orthopedics.
Welcome back. Live from the Spectrum Healthcare Partner Studios, it's the MBR Game of the Week. On Sports Time 780 and 92.7 Maine's Big Z, it's the CMCC Hammond Lumber Game of the Week. Windham battling Edward Little. Edward Little leads 14-0. Steve Flynn on the play-by-play this evening.
Willette is going to be the kicker for Edward Little. Wall and Coffin will be back to receive for the Eagles.
Good special teams names, Wall and Coffin.
You're not really, yeah. No lie there. Not a deep kick last time for Willette. We'll see what he does this time. Just one step, and he kicks it away. And it's collected at the 20, brought out to the 25, to the 30. Met at the 31, and that's where he will be brought down. Ball carrier was number 32, Ian Trafford.
Trafford did a good job with that. He kind of faded away from it on a kickoff, which is not optimal. What you're looking for there is to be able to run up underneath it, get some momentum going, go forward. He had to go backwards and then get started again. He was able to do that and get some positive yardage. Not awful field position here for Windham, but they're down 14-0 with 8:12 remaining in the first half. Got to get something going here before Edward Little takes field again.
And defensively, you can take a little bit more of a calculated risk here, playing with a 2-score lead. It's a little bit more comfort than playing with just a 7-0 lead here, 14-0, 8:12 to go. Bernier under center, and it's a quick handoff to Valaire. Valaire met by a couple of tacklers, Cody and Max Bell. Max Bell, one of the leading tacklers on this Edward Little football team. He and Terrio, animals from that linebacker position.
Doing a good job there of covering ground and not allowing Windham to get to where they wanted to go. And they might have some plays off of that later, maybe with an option or something like that, if Bernier's able to run it, depending on the foot.
It's there. 2nd and 8 officially. They're on their own 33-yard line. Bernier out of the shotgun. And he's going to hand it off to Wall. Wall off to the right side. Flag down. Met by a couple of tacklers. Cody yet again on the tackle. I think this will be a hold.
I believe it will be a hold as well. That was quite a shot too. It was quite the timing when that flag was thrown. Wall got hit, and it almost looked like for a second that the ball came loose. But no, it's just the flag.
Just the flag,
Just the flag. And they're going to move Windham back, and that's a real kick for Windham here. They finally get a positive play moving forward, and now they're going to move them back an extra 10 yards. And unlike the Edward Little offense, which has not been having a difficult time overcoming some of their mistakes, Windham can't afford 10-yard mistakes right now.
Ball will be officially marked at the 19-yard line. Boy, that's a costly penalty. You got to remember, it's from the spot of the foul, not necessarily from the line of scrimmage. So where that hold takes place is important. All the way back to the 19-yard line. They got to get to the 41 to get a first down. So 2nd and 22 here. 7:20 to go in the first half. Trailing 14-0. Windham Eagles with the football. Bernier under center. It's a pitch. Wall collects it. No, it's Coffin. Met by a host of EL tacklers. Tell you, not a lot of room to run in that backfield. That time it was number 32 for Edward Little. Justin Terrio.
Edward Little's defense, Edward Little's offense gets a lot of run, a lot of talk. Edward Little's defense has really started to come together here over the last few weeks, and it's had some really good games so far. I think this Edward Little defense is going to be crucial into them making and playing farther into November than
only giving up 54 points all year long in 6 games. I mean, that's impressive. Bernier from the shotgun. He's looking to pass. Looking left, and passes out to Watson. Completed to the 30, out to the 35. He'll be well short of the first down.
That was a heck of a play there. A little shy of the first down, but Good play by Watson, and a good job by him to cut it upfield so he at least had a chance. Ended up being 4th and 6, but now you're not punting from as far back. And this is going to be a situation for field position, and Edward Little's already shown they have no problem melting the clock if they need to. And with 6 minutes left here in the first half, they could try to take this thing all the way down already with a 2-score lead.
Coach Sterling very mindful of the fact that Windham will get the ball to start the second half. So fielding this punt, controlling the clock now is super important. Coffin will be back to kick here for the Eagles. Max Bell, the intended receiver for Edward Little. So the slow count from the back judge. All right, it's a fake. Fake to the up back. He's met by Terrio, and it's going to be a first down. They were not expecting it. It was a quick snap. Looked like Trevor Valaire was the ball carrier.
It's actually, that was Nathan Watson.
It was Watson.
Yeah. Watson got it as the up back and slid through.
I actually thought it was number 24, and if you could find that number on your roster for me. It's amazing. It's amazing.
Every week.
It's amazing.
Every week.
It's okay.
Every week.
So, fresh set of downs. 45-yard line is the ball. Bernier under center, I formation. Handoff over the middle in the big gap. Pickup of a first down for sure. Gain of 11. Ball all the way out to the Edward Little 44-yard line. Ball carrier was Seth Wall.
Good play there by Wall to keep the ball tied up in his hands. Had 2 hands on the ball the whole time. Don't want to get stripped in a situation like that. Sometimes you see all that daylight and you forget to put your hand on the ball, and the ball ends up on the ground in front of you. And all of a sudden, Windham has found their running game with 4:48 left. And we were just talking 2 seconds ago about EL maybe holding the ball for the rest of the half. Windham might be saving their season right here.
Back on their heels. Hand off to Wall again. No gain. Met right away. It was number 66 for Edward Little. Kevin LaChance.
Looked like that play just took a little too long to develop. Also, Edward Little diagnosed that very much like Dick Van Dyke in Diagnosis Murder. Just really knocked that right out there.
Wall only a sophomore. We've seen him come in for Salem. A very impressive runner. And hi to Grandma down in Florida.
Yes.
Bernier again in the shotgun. 4 wide receiver set. 2nd and 10 here. Fake to the left. Looking to throw still. He'll tuck it and run. Out to the 40, and he skirts out of bounds at about the 39-yard line.
And that'll stop the clock after a gain of 6. And that'll make it 3rd and 5. That was a pretty good play there by Bernier to make something out of nothing.
You know what? The thing is that he will tuck it and run pretty quickly. I mean, he's a guy that if he doesn't have his throwing lanes open down the football field, he's ready to go. 3:58 to go here. Eagles trail 14-0. Bernier in the shotgun again. Pass-heavy Eagles offense. This time hands it off to Valaire, and he's got a big gaping hole in the middle. Up all the way out, met by a host of Edward Little tacklers at the 27, 28-yard line. It'll be a first down for the Eagles, and the clock will continue to go as soon as they set these chains. An impressive offensive series kept alive by that fake punt, Matty.
Sometimes you got to make that call. Matt Perkins has been making that call for years. It started in the 2009 Western A finals, regional finals against Chevers with a fake punt to run time off a clock in a mucky game there. He's no stranger to making a surprise play, and right there, Windham needed it. And right there, they're going to get a penalty because, unfortunately, Hall didn't get set before the snap, so he's going to move forward. That'll move him back 5 yards. So Bernier's run there is going to get negated, and they're going to move the ball back to about the 33-yard line.
Mr. Bessie wanted to give him a chance.
He did.
You can't do the hula hoop dance right there on the line of scrimmage like that.
Yeah, you can't do the Humpty dance when you get up to the line. That is frowned upon in this establishment.
Hokey pokey. I don't know how I forgot.
The hokey pokey.
Hokey pokey escaped me.
It could have been either, honestly. It would have been fine.
3:20 to go here. 1st and 15. Ball will be marked at the 37-yard line. 33-yard line. Bernier under center, I formation. Man in motion is Coffin. Fakes the pitch. Bernier is going to keep it. He's met by, keeps on going out to the 15, 16-yard line. Won't be a first down. It will be a first down.
That was quite the run.
Man, he's a guy that looks like he's going to get tackled 4 or 5 different times, but keeps his legs going. And yet again, another fresh set of downs for the Windham Eagles, and Bernier leading this offense right down the field.
This is a big drive for Windham. They've struggled. They struggled last week against Scarborough. This week, they've struggled in the first half. They've got to finish this drive off. Inside the red zone, you don't get a lot of these opportunities.
Shotgun yet again for Bernier. This time he hands it off to Watson. Watson met and tackled for maybe a gain of 1, if anything.
And that's where there's kind of that separates the haves and the have-nots in this division, is when you get into the red zone, are you able to get it in there? Are you able to run it? You don't have as much room to operate, on a passing standpoint or getting athletes out in space inside the 20. The red zone can sometimes be the great equalizer. It's up to you as an offense to get through that and get through that final 20 yards into the end zone.
And go with what got you there. You know
Right.
what I mean? Don't try to change up your identity at this point. Shotgun formation, 3 wide receivers to the left, and there'll be a timeout taken by Windham.
We'll take a timeout as well. You're listening to the Game of the Week.
Our goal here at Maine Athletic Fundraising is to raise your program or group the most amount of money possible in the shortest amount of time, hassle-free.
Over the last 3 years, we've been able to raise over $10,000 every year, which has really allowed us to get the extra stuff the kids really need to run a successful program.
One of our biggest goals at Maine Athletic Fundraising is to really develop a relationship on the ground with the coaches, the community, and the boosters that are involved, and help bring them together and understand how important it is to fundraise.
All aboard MBR.org, the place to get all your high school and amateur sports news and information. MBR.org is in high gear with Maine high school winter sports. Go to MBR.org to chat about your favorite team. Find the latest articles, travel news, and cancellations. Or visit their all-new and very popular team pages. MBR.org has everything you want to know about high school and amateur sports in Maine. Coming in February, all the high school tournament action at your fingertips 24/7. It's high school sports heaven. All aboard MBR.org.
Welcome back to the second quarter here at Walton Field. Matt Boutwell, Steve Flynn with you here. Minute 48 remaining in the first half. Here's Steve. Wyndham driving. They're down 14-0 to EL.
2nd and 9, ball on the Edward Little 17-yard line. Bernier in the shotgun. 1:47 to go. He throws it out to Coffin on the left-hand side. Completed. And Coffin out to the 10. Brought down by Terrio. Max Bell in on it again. It'll be 3rd down and 2 yards to go. We're at a minute and a half to go in the first half.
That was a pretty solid play call right there, and also a pretty solid run after the catch there by Coffin to weave through. Didn't have a lot of room and open space, which you're going to notice down here towards the red zone as you get there. They managed to get a positive 7 yards out of that and make this a very manageable 3rd and 3.
I formation and under center. I think we're going to have another timeout, Edward Little. That's what it is. Timeout EL, 1:12 to go here in the first half. We'll keep it right here.
We will.
Tell you, this has been an impressive drive for Windham. They've used a mixture of shotgun formation. They've used 3 and 4 wide receiver sets. They've come out in the I formation. And a good balance. We saw it work for Edward Little, that balance between the rush and the pass. If you respect a guy like Valère to be able to rush between the tackles and you pull those linebackers in, it opens up the edge. That last play is a perfect example where Bernier delivers the ball to Coffin out on the edge. A lot of people are expecting Coffin to shoot out of bounds instead of go back to the middle of the football field where he had more room to go and get his team closer to the end zone. It's a smart, heady play that time by Coffin, something you'd expect out of a senior.
Minute 12 remaining. We'll try to get you scores at halftime. Wyndham taking as much time as they possibly can.
Yeah, they did the same thing coming out of the last time out, too. So, still feel comfortable. They know right what they're going with in terms of a play. Bernier is going to be under center. It's going to be the I formation. Valère, Watson in the backfield. Coffin to the left.
And a false start out of the timeout. That is not what you want if you're a Wyndham fan. That's going to push you back 5 yards.
I think the only guy that wasn't on the right page was the center.
Right.
It seemed like the first sound that he heard, ball got snapped and nobody was ready for it. So they'll shuffle up and deal one more time. Bernier get a whole fresh play call in from the sideline. Coffin and Cedre will go out to the right-hand side. Valaire and Watson will line up in the I formation. Bernier under center. 3rd and 8. Handoff is to Valaire through the middle of the football field. Big rush. I mean, big bruising back all the way out to the 10-yard line. Going to be shy of the first down. It'll be 4th and 5. 4th and 4.
And if you're Windham, you don't really have a heck of a lot of choice here. They're probably going to take this thing down, take a timeout. What does the timeout tracker say? Do we have a timeout tracker?
We do have
today?
a timeout. I think one apiece.
One apiece. So this will be the final timeout. And that'll be
Timeout
46
Windham.
seconds remaining.
Okay. So we can update the timeout tracker. 46.4 seconds to go here in the first half of play. Red Eddies 14, Windham Eagles 0. Okay. It's been an interesting night.
It has been.
I was totally oblivious to the Friday the 13th
I was too.
But you and I had communication today that was just like, I think it makes sense now.
It does.
I think a lot of things are making sense that hadn't made sense to this point.
Yes. I feel like that's the case as well.
And the night is still young, Matthew.
Yes.
The night is still young.
That's right. It'll make a great story for the grandkids, really.
Oh, won't it? Be good for the scrapbook someday. Again, deliberate pace out of both timeouts. Coach Sterling out onto the field to talk to his defensive unit. Perkins has his offensive set. March on over to the sideline. They won't wait for the whistle this time. Instead, they'll come right out. 46.4 seconds to go, first half of football. Eagles trailing by 14. They are scoreless. Bernier under center, I formation. Wide receivers to his right and left. Handoff is to Valaire. He'll get the first down. Brought all the way to the 5. So it's going to be 1st and goal from the 5.
That was quite a rush right there by Valaire.
Only 5 seconds come off the clock, and the clock will start rolling again. Now 40 seconds. Rushing back to the line is the Eagles. I formation again, Bernier under center. Handoff again to Valaire. They're going to go with this. It keeps getting him there, and he's in. Touchdown, Eagles.
Maybe the biggest touchdown of their young season so far. They needed it. It was a big boy touchdown. He went up, high center of gravity, into the end zone, touchdown. Eagles down by 8. Now they need the all-important extra point, which has not been easy for them all year.
The good thing on their behalf is they've got McCusker. He is a darn good field goal kicker, kicking 40-yard field goals in pregame. We'll take a look at what McCusker can do here. Lined up in the PAT. Snap is low, but hold is okay. The kick is going to miss. No chance. 27.6 seconds to go here in the first half of play. Edward Little 14, Windham Eagles 6. This is the CMCC Hammond Lumber Game of the Week presented by MBR on Maine's Big Z.
All aboard MBR.org, the place to get all your high school and amateur sports news and information. MBR.org is in high gear with Maine high school winter sports. Go to MBR.org to chat about your favorite team. Find the latest articles, travel news, and cancellations. Or visit their all-new and very popular team pages. MBR.org has everything you want to know about high school and amateur sports in Maine. Coming in February, all the high school tournament action at your fingertips 24/7. It's high school sports heaven. All aboard MBR.org.
Welcome back. CMCC Hammond Lumber Game of the Week. We are at Walton Field. The MBR Game of the Week.
From the Spectrum Healthcare Partner Studios.
Boy, is there any place better?
No, it's warm.
Boy.
Toasty.
They treat us good. 27.6 seconds to go. McCusker's going to kick it away to Edward Little. They'll get an opportunity to see if they can put some points on the board. It'll be Bell and Giles Parody back to receive for the Eddies. Kick is up. Parody's going to be the one who will collect it. He collects it at the 25. He's out to the 30. Out to the 35. Met by a couple of tacklers, and he'll be brought down at about the 37, 38-yard line.
That was a big play by him there to hang on to it. That Windham special teams is really good at forcing turnovers and making big plays. That would have been a big-time momentum killer there. or momentum switcher, or I guess additioner in this case, because Windham seems to have the momentum right now after the fake punt. But special teams seem to do it for the Eagles every time. Special teams and defense, and the offense seems to be timely and kind of catch up on that.
Boy, got to be careful here. Hartley is a guy that can throw the football down the field. They've got 19 and a half seconds left to go. If you're Hartley, don't take too big of a bite. You don't need to get it all in one play. Wide receivers to his right, 3. Hartley back in shotgun. He's looking down the field. His receivers, Weaver. Weaver collects it at the 45. He's at the 40. He's at the 35. Brought down at the 34-yard line with 10.7 seconds to go. Edward Little's going to call a timeout.
That'll be their final timeout. That's a big-time play there. And again, something a lot of high school teams can't do. Have a big play like that to get you down into either field goal position or, at the very least, Hail Mary position.
Yeah, and 38-yard line. Hartley's got the arm to get it in the end zone from here. So he can throw one up and see if he can land one in the end zone. I don't know if you do something to try to take 10 yards off of that play. Maybe just try to get out another 7 to 10 yards down the field before you take that shot in the end zone. Issue with that is you've got to make sure whoever catches it gets out of bounds. That's a critical thing. You don't want to waste away this opportunity knowing full well Windham's found something that's worked offensively, and they get the ball to start the second half of play.
Get your scores at the half. Plenty of games going on tonight. Lewiston in action over on the other part of the Z, 105.5 AM, 1240. Reminder, coaches interviews that you heard earlier, part of our Maine Athletic Fundraising Fridays. Hear 7 coaches interviews every single Friday on the B-List weekdays, 10 a.m. to noon, or you can hear it on the pregame show here. Blue Devils lead 7-0 late in the second quarter.
Shotgun formation, Bigos in the backfield with Hartley, 3 wide to his left. 1st and 10 from the 33. Back to pass, he's looking left, met by a whole bunch of tacklers. He skates away. Valaire finally the guy who brings him down at the 35-yard line. With 0.7 seconds to go. Edward Little did have a timeout left. The timeout tracker might have had a sneaky timeout on there. So Edward Little keeps 0.7 of a second on the scoreboard here, ahead 14-6. This will be the final play of the first half, most likely.
Most likely, unless there's a defensive penalty.
I should have not said that. It was on the way out when I couldn't. Yeah.
You can actually see the words coming out, and you're trying to catch them, and they just don't
lasso them back in.
Right. You're like, come on back. It's like when you let the dogs out, and then they just head straight for the road, and you're like, could you not do that? It's the same thing.
That's the problem. By the time you figure out it's too late, it's already too late.
It's already too late. Brunswick looking for their first win of the year. We'll see if they're going to get that. So far,
boy, isn't that interesting? Like, you just said that, and that had to register in my head. Like, wow, that's a talented football club.
Steve, I was looking at it today, and I found it amazing when I saw that. It was
wow.
It was not often that that was the case with them.
4 wide, Hartley out of the shotgun. He'll throw the quick screen. Oh, double pass. Bell down the field to Thomas, and it's short.
That was a good play there by Bernier on the defensive side of the ball. He looked back for it. He didn't create any defensive issues. That's exactly what you want to do there defensively. And a pretty creative play there from Edward Little as well to try to do something different before the end of the half. But they'll be content now, taking a 14-6 lead at halftime. We'll replay the Coach Perkins interview from pregame, see if a lot of that's still going to be relevant because we had some technical issues. We want to make sure you guys hear your Coach Perkins interview. And we'll have more at halftime. Right around the corner here, it's the MBR Game of the Week from the Spectrum Healthcare Partner Studios across the MBR Radio Network on Sports Time 780 and Maine's Big Z 92.7. It's the CMCC Hammond Lumber Game of the Week. We'll be back.
Our goal here at Maine Athletic Fundraising is to raise your program or group the most amount of money possible in the shortest amount of time, hassle-free.
Over the last 3 years, we've been able to raise over $10,000 every year, which has really allowed us to get the extra stuff the kids really need to run a successful program.
One of our biggest goals at Maine Athletic Fundraising is to really develop a relationship on the ground with the coaches, the community, and the boosters that are involved, and help bring them together and understand how important it is to fundraise.
All aboard aboard MBR.org, the place to get all your high school and amateur sports news and information. MBR.org is in high gear with Maine high school winter sports. Go to MBR.org to chat about your favorite team. Find the latest articles, travel news, and cancellations, or visit their all-new and very popular team pages. MBR.org has everything you want to know about high school and amateur sports in Maine. Coming in February, all the high school tournament action at your fingertips 24/7. It's high school sports heaven. All aboard MBR.org.
Falmouth Orthopedic Center, Central Maine Orthopedics, OA Centers for Orthopedics, all play on the same team. Maine's top orthopedic practices have joined forces for more efficient and affordable orthopedic care. Introducing Spectrum Orthopedics.
Interview. We'll jump in with Matt Perkins, the head football coach at Windham. Of course, Windham in action tonight against Edward Little. You can catch that game on Maine's Big Z 92.7 on Sports Time 780 and with a video stream at mbr.org. Coach, thanks for joining us this week. How you doing?
I'm well. How are you?
Doing very good, thanks. Your squad last week had a tough one. Scarborough is as good as advertised from what it looks like. How do you rebound from something like that for a tough road game, especially in the division against Edward Little?
Well, it's just one of those things where you got to have kids, fight, and that's why this game is so much like life. You're going to have times where you get kicked in the teeth, and how you react is usually a telling of what your character is. And so that's been a big preach this week, and we've dealt with a lot this year besides just losing last week. So it's been one of those years with a lot of adversity, and we're hoping that it'll help some of these guys down the road.
Coach Dave Wing, EL has some talented kids. Hartley is certainly a big, strong arm quarterback. Begos is is a really good running back, and Bell is an all-purpose guy. They're going to present some problems.
Absolutely, yeah, and they have a ton of weapons that it's kind of like pick your poison there. And I think with us is we've got to try to put guys in the right spot to limit what they like to do the most and how they attack you. So, it sounds a lot easier than it really is.
Yeah.
Especially when you have a quarterback who can throw it 50 yards off his back foot sometimes.
What is that? You don't get to see a lot of quarterbacks like Mr. Hartley rolling around the state. There's only a handful, and they seem to come around every 5 years or so. How is it easy or hard to coach a quarterback like that? Because it's almost something that you don't have. It's not like you got a bunch of them coming down the line in the system. You can't just draft another one in a few years and plug that in. Does that create a lot of change or anything when you have a quarterback like that?
Well, we had one, as you know, in 2009, and Jackson Taylor, and just one of those kids, like you said, it doesn't happen that often when you get a kid who's 6'3", and big, physical, 220 pounds or whatever, and can flip the ball 50 yards. But Jackson was, very much a sponge, which it seems like, Grant, as talented as he is, I'm sure he is too. Those guys are fun, and you realize as a coach, as Coach Wing will tell you, that sometimes when you get a kid like that, you try to savor it because sometimes you don't get that very often.
Yeah, I was saying when I was in Skowhegan, I had two of them in a row. Wow. Unfortunately, they were 1 year apart. So if one of them had been a sophomore instead of two seniors, one right after another, I would have really enjoyed that. It's too bad I had them back to back like that. Tell us about your quarterback. I saw them a little bit against Oxford Hills. He looked like he was limping a little bit. I know everybody's dinged up a little bit at this time of year. How is his health?
He's better than he has been. He got hurt in week 2 against Bonnie Eagle, and it's been a reoccurring theme along the way. We're hoping that he seems to be better this week, and so hopefully he's going to be in a place where he can be able to run and throw, because when he can run, then he really gives us another weapon. And we've got a couple guys back this week, so we won't be as limited as we've been. So hopefully he can stay healthy the whole game, and then we can take the bubble wrap off him at halftime and let him go.
Talking with Matt Perkins, the head football coach of the Windham Eagles. Are you surprised at all at how quick, once you guys joined, started playing the Edward Littles and the Lewistons and the Oxford Hills, seems like, there was always this big concern up here, especially in this region. Oh boy, I don't know if we're ever going to compete. Have you been surprised at how quick these squads have started to get up there and compete with you guys?
No, because we were one of those guys. You look at '03, we started in A East, and we only had football 4 years. That was my second year here, and we were there for 2 years in the East, which is now the North, and then switched back over to the West. And so it took us, I think, 3 years before we started to really kind of figure it out as well. And I think it was in the third year in '08 when we got to the second round of the playoffs, and we were in the. But we had been down that path, and you don't really see it happening sometimes. But it forces you to be better coaches. It forces your kids to pick up their game in the off season and their work ethic and how to handle week in and week out.
Matt Perkins is the head football coach of the Windham Eagles. They'll be in action tonight against the Edward Little Red Eddies. You can catch that game on the radio on Maine's Big Z 92.7 throughout the state. You can also catch it on Sports Time 780. And you can watch it on video. Just go to MBR.org. We'll have it right there live on the YouTube page from the Spectrum Healthcare Partners Studios. Coach, as always, thanks for making some time on a busy Friday for you, and we'll see you tonight.
All right, guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
Take care.
on reserve, Aaron Hart, Jimmy Polina, Telephone, Jameson Treadwell, Battery, Rebuzzer, Ryan Lafayette, Skylar Burgess, and the Cowman, sir. On the guard, we have Captain Karen Demers, Abby Girardin, Glenn Turgeon, Lexi Jellison, Billy Reserve, Caitlin Dyer, Caitlin Burgess, Haley Conant, Kayla Harmon, and Glenn Harmon, Assistant Drum Major, Finn Goodwin, and soloist, Finn Goodwin, Eddie Fuller, Noah Davis, and the drum line, their director, Neil Bogdan, the Little marching band. By the way, we do have our winner of our Chuckaduck. If your number was 67 and your name is Leland Maxima, or if your number is 116 and your name is Ryan Burgoyne, please go to the main entrance where you got your duck, and they have prizes waiting for you.
Welcome back. It is the MBR Game of the Week from the Spectrum Healthcare Partner Studios across the MBR Radio Network. On the radio side of things, it's Sports Time 780, Maine's Big Z 92.7, CMCC Hammond Lumber Game of the Week. We're at halftime here at Walton Field. Edward Little leads Windham by a score of 14-6. Got some other scores going on out there. Old Orchard Beach leading Spruce Mountain at the half, 14-13. Oxford Hills trails 35-0 to Scarborough on the road. That is also at halftime.
Wow.
Another one at halftime. Coney 21, Messalonsky 14. More halftime scores. You've got Brunswick leading Mount Blue 18-10. Brunswick looking for their first win of the year.
Nice to see that program get a win.
And then you'll also have Madison. How about this one? Madison only up on Mountain Valley 12-8 at the half.
Mountain Valley still got a sniff in that one.
Lake Region leads Morse 22-12. Scarborough again 35-0 over Oxford Hills. And Lewiston and Portland are tied at 7 at the half.
Wow. Tight game there in Portland.
Wells and Lisbon 14-6 at the half as well. Also at the half, Skowhegan and Lawrence. Skowhegan 38, Lawrence 28 at the half.
Wow. 38 points in a half?
At the half. Lake Region's Hunter McDaniel has a touchdown catch with no time left in the first half. Morse now leads Lake Region. Score on that one is 22-20 at the half. 22-20, Morse leads Lake Region at the half. Remember when we thought about going there? Remember that?
Yeah, I do remember
I remember that.
Wow.
Also, end of the first quarter. Only the end of the first quarter. Brewer leads Hamden 20-0 in that one.
Oh, I'm surprised we're not there. End of the first quarter.
Yeah, end of the first quarter. That's usually how that works, right?
Come on.
See what happens here. Windham really changed momentum in this one a little bit with a fake punt that was successful. They got a touchdown off of that drive. So instead of it being 14-0 with Edward Little getting the ball with about 6 minutes left in the first half, looking to make it 21-0, Windham was able to keep it until about 27 seconds remaining in the half. They got a touchdown. They're within 8 now. Totally different ball game.
Eddies came out hot. Looked like they had a lot of stuff working offensively, and then it just seemed like they got inconsistent as that first half of play continued on. It was the opposite for the Eagles on the Windham side. Really looked like they found some things that work, and that last touchdown that the only touchdown that they scored, it was pretty clear that Coach Perkins said, we're going to give it to Trevor. We're going to keep giving it to Trevor. They're having trouble stopping him inside. He's getting 3-4 yards in a cloud of dust. I'd expect to see a lot more of Trevor Valaire here in the second half from the Eagles and Coach Perkins. No question.
Shout out to who won Chuckaduck, by the way.
Yeah, in the tire, by the way.
In the tire.
If you can throw a rubber duck from the sideline and land it in a reasonably sized tractor tire on the fly, I mean, we've seen hundreds of these happen. And, I've seen maybe a handful hit the tire. This was dead center.
Totally bombed. Oh, by the way, another local score. Poland goes for its first win of the year, leads Dirigo at the half, 21-8.
Wow. Yeah, that's a little bit of a shocker.
It was my thought. That's why it was mentioned.
Won the toss, deferred, and wanted the ball in the second half. EL complied. So Willette will kick it away to the Eagles. Wall and Coffin are the deep men. For the Eagles. Here we go. Second half of football, CMCC Hammond Lumber Game of the Week presented by MBR on Maine's Big Z, and we are underway. Kick is going to go out of bounds.
That's an interesting kicking style by Mr. Willett.
One step and then a kick. One step, and he does it on his PATs, and he did it on the kickoff that time. They won't make him re-kick it. They'll take the penalty. So they will mark the ball at the 35-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 Eagles from their own 35-yard line. No time comes off the clock, as it doesn't start until an active player touches the ball. You can fair catch a kick. It's a little-known rule that some people don't know, and no time would come off the clock, but it is possible. You are able to fair catch a kick. Haven't seen that here. 1st and 10 for Windham here. Bernier out of the shotgun again. He's in a 4-wide receiver set. Looking to pass. Passes out to Wall on the left-hand side. Completed. No gain. It'll be 2nd and 10. Coffin is the receiver. 3s and 9s look awfully similar. I think the key with football numbers is make them big.
Yes.
Make them large and very easy to read on the uniform.
Correct.
Edward Little done a nice job of that for us here tonight.
Yes. Going with the white numbers. White numbers are always appreciated, especially when it's on a dark uniform.
Without question.
Typically.
Without question.
Typically.
Bernier, again, out of the shotgun. He's got 3 wide receivers to his right-hand side this time. Pass out to the right-hand side. Coffin is the receiver. Met right away by a couple of Eddie's tacklers. It'll be number 3, Joshua Kaiser, who is the chief tackler. 3-on-3 crime that time. No gain. Maybe a gain of 1. 3rd and 9.
That was almost a backwards pass, and Coffin just wasn't quite able to get it quick enough to get a hole and get moving forward.
Got to be careful there and make sure that ball continues forward. Oh, it looked like Edward Little was going to call a timeout, but they're not going to. Thought there was going to be a water break. Hustled up to the line of scrimmage. I formation, Bernier under center.
Pretty hot out there. So,
hand off to Valaire. Valaire steps through the line. Big fullback out to the 41.
That'll bring up 4th down, and not how you wanted to start the half here if you were a fan of Windham, as they're going to go look like 3 them out.
Sure enough, 4th and 5, it'll be for the Eagles. Coffin will come back into the punt formation. Bell back to receive for the Eddies. And the Eddies have been burned by the fake before, so they got to be careful. Snap is away. Looks like it'll be a kick. Coffin gets it off. And it's a good kick. Travels all the way out. Looks like it'll go out at about the 22. That's just where they'll mark it out. 22. 1st and 10 from the Eddies, 22. 9:41 to go in the 3rd quarter. First offensive set coming up here for Edward Little.
Just a reminder, we'll be live from Garcelon Field next Friday night as Edward Little battles Lewiston in the Battle of the Bridge. It'll be next Friday night here on the MBR Game of the Week.
Should be a heck of a game. A game that we typically see get played on a Saturday afternoon. Love the Friday night feel of that Lewiston EL Battle of the Bridge. Hundreds and hundreds of iterations. Hartley now in the shotgun. 4 wide receivers for him. Bigos in the backfield. Man in motion is Bell. Bell gets the handoff. Advance the ball. Push him back anyway. And it is a hold against Edward Little, so a 10-yard penalty. They are going to mark the ball. Looks like at about the 12.
First and 20 for the Eddies.
1st and 20, Red Eddies. 9:19 to go here in the 3rd quarter. Man in motion is Girardin. And he gets the ball, tries to cut back upfield. Nowhere to go. No gain whatsoever. It's going to be 2nd and 20. 14-6, Edward Little leads the Windham Eagles. This is the first offensive set here for the Red Eddies in the 2nd half. Traveling from right to left on your radio dial. A lot of work ahead of them.
Not in a big hurry, though.
Not right now, anyway. Bunched receivers to the left. We've seen this formation before. Snap is back to Hartley. He hands it off to Bigos. Bigos off to the left-hand side. Pickup of 2. He gets out to the 15. So it's going to be 3rd and 17. By the time they get this play off, it'll be inside of 8 minutes to go here in the third quarter. Slowly ticking away. Got to be careful here to not get in that situation where you're playing to avoid a loss here instead of playing to win. Shotgun formation again, 4 wide set for Hartley. Handoff is to Bigos, not expecting it. Met by a handful of tacklers. Pick up a 4, but it's not going to be anywhere near enough for the first down. So it's going to be 4th and 12. And Edward Little is going to have to kick this one away. Hartley averaging just under 40 yards a punt. It'll be his first punt tonight.
Almost as though both squads got a kind of, this long halftime might have cooled them down a little bit. I thought both teams had a pretty decent offensive flow going there in the first half, and both teams come out here in the second half and don't have that rhythm. Either that, the defenses came out and made some solid adjustments.
Cooled off, tightened up. Weather's got to play a factor. Bernier back to receive the punt here for the Eagles. Snap is a little high. Hartley fields it. Punt is nice punt. Bernier's going to field it. Fields it cleanly at the 35. He's met right away by Giles Parody. Tackled for about a yard loss. Officially down at the 34-yard line. Heck of a play that time.
That was a heck of a play on all the ends of that for the Edward Little special teams. It was a good punt. It was a good tackle. It was also a good play there by Bernier. And you're probably asking, why was that a good play by Bernier? He lost yardage. Well, he was going backwards, and he still fielded the ball. So that means he didn't let it bounce and gain more. He managed to keep that field position. So even though he caught it, and even though he lost a yard, that was still a pretty big special teams play, because I don't know how many times we see that, and the kid muffs the punt. Or he misses it, and the ball takes another team's bounce inside the 20-yard line. That was a big field position play there by Bernier.
It was Knight that had the pressure on Bernier, really making him sweat. Bernier now under center in the I formation. He's going to hand it off to Valaire. Met by Thomas in the middle and a host of Eddie's tacklers. He'll pick up 1. It's going to be 2nd and 9 from the 36-yard line.
Windham trying to find that running game that was so successful for them at the end of the first half. By the way, because Oxford Hills is losing to Scarborough this week, we're already talking about the Twitter sphere. The hot take Twitter sphere is already talking about we should just reseed all the Class A teams.
Here we go.
Yeah, here we
go. Can we just not do this again?
Can we just stop, please? Can we just stop?
I formation, Bernier under center, 2 wide. The handoff is to Valaire on the right-hand side. Big gain, and it's a big first down.
There's your running game. That running game that you were looking for, Windham fans, there it is. Valaire found a beautiful hole off the right side and made some solid greenage out to midfield. Yeah. And now Windham down by 8. 6 minutes remaining in the third quarter. If Windham's got their running game, that could open up some things pass-wise or big play-wise with Bernier.
Tanner Grover on the right-hand side absolutely crushing a block down the field. Bernier in the shotgun here. Handoff is to Wall on the left-hand side. He's met in the backfield right at the 45-yard line by Josh Kaiser. Tackled for a loss of 1. It's going to be 2nd and 11.
Something you've seen from Windham this year, as soon as they start to, they kind of work well in streaks. Very streaky team, I think, offensively.
Well, it's tough when you have one big play and then 3 or 4 lackluster plays and then one big play. It's tough to gain any sort of momentum that accumulates into anything. 3 wide receiver set. Bernier again in the shotgun. He's looking to pass. Out to his right-hand side. Throws out to Coffin. Completed at the 46. Brought out to the 47. He's going to be officially marked out at the 49. No.
Down at the 49.
49. It is 49. Helmets. I have more helmets and people between me and this football, and this is the closest I'm going to get to the football.
And this is the closest field that we're going to even be at.
No question.
Although I'll be interested to see how it is next week at Bates. I've already done the testing there. It seems like there'll be a little bit of spot there.
3rd and 7 now, 4:45 to go here in the third quarter. Bernier over to the sideline, getting a play in the shotgun now. 1 wide to his right. Coffin, the man in motion. He'll fake the handoff. Bernier's going to keep it himself off to the right-hand side. Brought out at Edward Little's 48-yard line. Tackler on the play is number 15 for Edward Little. That's Ricky Cody. The 5'9 sophomore doing a nice job getting low on Bernier, making a nice open field tackle.
I'll set up a 4th and 3, and of course, I don't know if Windham would go back to the fake punt, but they may just run a 4th down play here and go for it.
At this point, I don't think you can give the ball back to Edward Little. I mean, you might feel confident in the fact that you found something that worked here defensively. Right now, they haven't had much success stopping Valaire out of this I formation. We'll see what they do. Bernier under center, I formation, Watson, Valaire in the backfield. Handoff is a play fake. He's going to throw it out to Valaire in the slot. It's going to be a first down for sure. Brought down at the 37-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 from the Edward Little 37.
That was a great play by Bernier to avoid the pressure, get that play out where Valaire could catch it. Then a good job there by Valaire to get some yardage. In fact, he ran up on his own guy in Cedre. If he hadn't run up on his own guy, he might still be running.
Yeah, it was no mistake lost on me, that I formation. They had run Valaire out of that a couple of times. That time the play fake, everybody bit, and he was open on the play action down the field. I formation again. This time they do hand it off to Valaire, and he'll pick up 2. 2nd and 8 now. He'll be out to the 35-yard line. And right now, Edward Little is really playing the run. They're loading up the box and jumping that rush first. You got to be careful if you're doing that because it keeps you very vulnerable over the top and behind.
Especially if you can pull off a decent play action play here. And with an I formation, this is a perfect formation for a play action pass.
I formation, it's play action. Bernier looking down the field. Coffin, he's got him in the end zone. No.
Had the look they wanted, but didn't get the throw that they needed.
Threw into double coverage. He had single coverage out to the right-hand side. Cedre working on Cody on the right-hand side, but elected to go to his favorite target, the senior Coffin. 3rd and 8 here from the 35. 2:48 to go. Eagles trail the Red Eddies 14-6.
Wouldn't be shocked here if you see Bernier run it, maybe fake a handoff here.
Plenty out of this I formation. This time he's going to play fake, back to pass. Cedre, the intended receiver, and incomplete.
Could have been intercepted. Coffin did a good job there diving for it. Couldn't quite get there.
It's interesting. They really, the Eagles do a nice job of moving the guys on different sides of the field. Coffin's run most of his routes on the left side, that time switching him over to the right-hand side. So really making every little work to change and fit up what they're doing offensively. Right now, to me, the Eagles have the hot hand, even though they're playing at an 8-point deficit. 2:44 to go here. It's 4th and 8. And Windham's going to go for it. 35-yard line. Out of the shotgun. Bernier looking to pass. Looking. He's trying to get away. Scrambles out to his right-hand side. Terriot had a shot. Couldn't get to him. Finally, he's brought out well short of the first down. It'll be a big turnover on downs that time by the Eagles. Edward Little is going to get the ball back at their own 35.
That was a great play there by Bernier to keep that alive, but that was even a better play there by Edward Little's defense to string that out. That was a coverage sack all the way. He had nothing going, and Bernier was able to keep that alive with his legs. But unfortunately, if you're a Windham fan, they were not able to cash in another drive that got inside into Edward Little territory. And with 2:33 remaining here in the third quarter, Edward Little leads 14-6.
I think you made the comment on whether or not he was going to keep that, and I think that was a design keeper all the way. And he just didn't have any place to go.
They stretched him out. They did a good job of getting in the backfield, too. That was a pretty good job of pressure there by Terrell Thomas.
Harley in the shotgun, 3 wide to his right. And Windham jumped off. So Edward Little will get 5 yards closer.
Discipline has been a little bit of an issue. Discipline on the field has been an issue with Windham this year from penalties. We saw him on opening night against Chevrolet. It's been something that's been going on with them basically all season.
You like to see them be eager. You like to see them be aggressive. But you still have got to maintain that fine line between being too aggressive and staying disciplined.
Lewiston and Portland still tied at 7 in the third as you've got a play out here, and that was Weaver out past the 40-yard line, out to the 41.
Edward Little just not playing with any. I mean, look, they're just very
casual.
Yeah. I mean, there's no sense of urgency. They seem very comfortable with this 8-point lead. Now, 2 minutes to go in the third quarter. 2nd and 3. Hartley in the shotgun formation. He's going to hand it off to Bigos. Bigos going to pick up the first down.
Pretty normal.
No, they're going to mark him just shy of it. They're going to measure.
They are going to measure. Give you some scores here. Final, Falmouth over Gorham, 48-6. Scarborough scores again with about 4 minutes left in the third. They lead Oxford Hills 42-0. Then, as I mentioned, Morse Lake Region, 22-20. Morse leads starting the third quarter. Cape Elizabeth gets a touchdown from Weir with a 2-yard touchdown run, 21-7, and they recovered the onside kick against Freiburg. The ensuing onside kick.
Just shy of the first down.
3rd and inches. You get a Hartley here, I think you just let him fall forward for a first down, right?
Quick snap, get forward.
Yep. Wrap it up. I don't think there's any need here. If not, you just want to get it to Bagos and make sure he goes north-south. Don't go east-west with him.
And if you're Windham, load up the middle, load up that box. Really try to jam them up the middle. So in close here, Hartley from the shotgun formation. Much of the same from Edward Little. He's looking to pass. He's going to keep it. Doesn't go anywhere.
But he
falls forward.
He falls forward for a first down. He was getting tackled back at the 44-yard line, and then he backed into it. It's the first time you'd see a guy get sacked for a first down, and that's kind of what happened there, even though Sacks tacked for the loss. That's pretty much what happened there. It was a great play by Hartley to get that first down.
Met for a loss, but he kind of spun backwards, and that spin backwards pulled the guys with him, and he fell over that first down marker. So a fresh set here at their own 45-yard line. 1st and 10, Edward Little. A minute to go here in the third quarter. Hartley out of the shotgun with 3 wide to his left. He's looking to pass and scrambling back. Dumps it off to Terrell Thomas. Thomas back to the line of scrimmage and picks up 5 more. He's out at the 50. It's going to be 2nd and 5 here.
Good job there by the Edward Little offensive line. So many times on those screen passes, there were 2 screen passes and 2 opportunities for that outside, one to the left, one to the right. When they had Thomas out there, a lot of times the offensive lineman will get downfield a little too early, and they're called for being an illegal man downfield. This case, they managed to hold their line, hold their water. Thomas was able to get it and get a 5-yard gain out of that. That's a pretty intelligent play there by the Edward Little offensive line.
That's a very mature play to see get completed at the high school level. Bunch formation to the left. Hartley, 1 receiver to his right. He's in the shotgun again. Looking to pass, looking to his right. Thomas, the intended receiver. It's incomplete.
That was I think there was a little too much mustard on that pass.
Just a tad. Caleb Cedre on the coverage for Windham. Thomas flashed open on the inside. Hartley had him, just didn't deliver it. So 3rd and 5 now. Ball is at the 50. 50 seconds to play. 5-0 seconds to play here in the third quarter. Play call in now. It's a 2 wide receiver set. Bell the man in motion. Hartley. Back to pass. Throws to his left-hand side. Dumps it off to Girardin. And Girardin's going to be about a yard shy of the first down.
Windham coaching staff wanted a false start penalty there on an illegal motion against Edward Little. They didn't get it. Make it 4th and short. Good play there by Girardin, but a good open field tackle to keep him from getting to the first down marker. It's going to set up a 4th and short here for Windham, or for Edward Little, and with less than 25 seconds remaining in the quarter, you wonder if they're going to try to hang on to it as long as they possibly can.
4th and 1 here from Windham's 46-yard line. There are 13 seconds left to go here in this third quarter of football. I believe Edward Little will get this play off. Hartley from the shotgun. Hands it off to Bigos. Bigos picks up the first down. It's a gain of 5, 6. He's still going. Wow. A 10-yard gain. A 10-yard gain after contact at the line of scrimmage. Caden Bigos carrying 6, 7 guys down the football field. Huge pickup right there for Edward Little.
Monstrous. And that'll end the third quarter. 14-6. Edward Little with a lead over Windham. We'll see how the fourth quarter goes coming up. here on the Game of the Week.
Our goal here at Maine Athletic Fundraising is to raise your program or group the most amount of money possible in the shortest amount of time, hassle-free.
Over the last 3 years, we've been able to raise over $10,000 every year, which has really allowed us to get the extra stuff the kids really need to run a successful program.
One of our biggest goals at Maine Athletic Fundraising is to really develop a relationship on the ground with the coaches, the community, and the boosters that are involved, and help bring them together and understand how important it is to fundraise.
Welcome back to the Game of the Week across the MBR Radio Network from the Spectrum Healthcare Partners broadcast booth. 92.7 Sports Time 780. It's the CMCC Hammond Lumber Game of the Week. Matt Beltwell, Steve Flynn with you here. Edward Little leads Windham 14-6, start of the fourth quarter. I hand it over to the capable play-by-play pipes of Mr. Steve Flynn.
Final quarter of play here from Walton Field, and let's see how much different the offensive set is here. Grant Hartley in the offensive unit for Edward Little will face the scoreboard this quarter. We talked about at the start of the game, it plays a huge role here in terms of clock management. Really gives them a key advantage to have everything right in front of them. So 1st and 10 now. Ball is at the Windham 44-yard line. And Edward Little wants to make this a two-score game. Any points on the board, field goal even, will make this a two-score game. Right now, separated by 8 points, 14-6. Edward Little with the lead. And we're about to get the fourth quarter play underway. Hartley in the shotgun formation. Back to pass. He's looking to the right. Ball is out. Intended receiver Max Bell. And way out in front of him. Edward Little coaches want some pass interference on Bernier. They don't get it.
They do not, because the ball was uncatchable and it was behind him. That's why they weren't going to call that. He was getting held. However, he was getting held after the ball went by him.
You put that ball on his body, pass interference.
Yep.
Throw a better pass. Okay.
Correct.
Note for the tape. On to the next play. 2nd and 10 now. Only 5 seconds come off the clock. They're going to stay in the 4 wide receiver set. Pretty much what they've stuck with. Bigos will be off to Hartley's right-hand side. Fake to Bigos. Quick pass out to Bell. He collects it, has trouble collecting it, gets back to the 45. Pickup of maybe 1, probably nothing. Regains the line. 3rd and 10.
Bell looks like he's banged up here. He's going to come off the field. Nobody you want to see less if you're an Edward Little offensive player right now than having Tanner Bernier out there in the open field getting ready to tackle you out there. He's not going to fall for your wiggle and giggle too much.
Josh Kaiser's got a pair of big shoes to fill in Max Bell. He's a guy that plays an integral role on the offensive side, but he's a leading tackler for this Edward Little football team at that linebacker position. Hartley now in the shotgun. 3 wide to his left-hand side. Looking to pass, he fakes. Leaks out to the right-hand side. He keeps his eyes downfield, throws it away as he gets out of bounds.
Had he played there, 2 years ago, Hartley probably would have stepped out of bounds right there.
And it's smart because he gets the ball down the field. Kaiser was the intended receiver. It was nowhere near him. He wasn't trying to throw it to him, but it kind of looked like it, and that's all that matters.
Certainly not taking a lot of time off the clock on this drive.
And, Matty, we talk about playing with the clock in front of you. You get the ball. Didn't even take a full minute off the clock, and now you're going to give it back to the Eagles. So Edward Little now in punt formation, 4th and 10. Hartley with his heels at the 42. Good snap. Kick is low. Angled off to the side. And they're going to let it roll out of bounds. It'll be marked out at the 19. 15. Close to the 15. I like that.
They'll make it the 18-yard line, I believe. No, that's a 17.
I heard 15, 16, 17, and 18.
Right.
Let's go with 17.
There's a wide array of differences in those numbers.
10:57 to go in this football contest. It's the CMCC Hammond Lumber Game of the Week across the MBR radio networks.
Yes. From the Spectrum Healthcare Partners broadcast booth.
Week 7, Matty. Week 7.
Next week, wrap up the regular season
Wow.
at Garcelon Field with the Battle of the Bridge. Lewiston, Edward Little. You can hear it on 105.5 AM 1240 and watch a video stream right here on MBR.
Bernier in the shotgun, looking to pass. Looks out to his right-hand side, almost picked off. Wow, Girardin jumped the route, had it, Matty. He had that ball, just didn't catch it.
Could have had a Could have had a nice little defensive score there as well, but instead stops the clock with 10:53 remaining here in the fourth quarter. 14-6. Windham trails Edward Little.
Gives you an idea of the sense of urgency that Windham has in terms of wanting to get the ball down the field. They've had some success. Hello, with the rush, with Valaire, Bernier as well. But that time going to the pass and leaving all of that time on the clock. Windham's going to take a timeout here.
Wells leads Lisbon 21-6. 4 minutes left in the third quarter there. Portland and Lewiston still tied at 7. MDI leading Leavitt 36-0 at the half.
Wow.
Yarmouth.
Some people thought that was going to be a Class C championship matchup.
Yeah. Well,
preview anyway.
13-6. Yarmouth leading Grey New Gloucester in the third quarter. MCI leads Foxcroft 28-7. Brunswick looking for their first one of the year, 26-16. They lead Mount Blue with 2:46 remaining in the third quarter there. Cape missed a field goal against Freiburg. They still lead 21-7. Excuse me, it's Brunswick now 32-16 over Mount Blue as Dalton Dickey had a 67-yard run. Skowhegan leads Lawrence 44-28. That one's also in the third quarter, and we'll get you more scores as they show up. Morse leads Lake Region now 28-20. Alston Baltazar with a 3-yard touchdown run. Seagulls lead Spruce 21-16 late in the third after a safety.
2nd and 10 from their own 17. Quick handoff that time. Pickup of about 2.
Another scoring update. Garrett Poussard, 55-yard runs on a first play after a Portland punt. Lewiston 14-7, 43 seconds left in the third quarter there. Also, Lake Region has come back with a 67-yard touchdown for Brady Douglas. They now trail Morse 28-26 in the third.
3rd and 7 now from their own 20. Bernier in the shotgun. He's got 3 wide receivers to his right-hand side. Man in motion. Fakes the hand. Oh, no, he did hand the ball off. Sweep that time to the left-hand side. Nowhere to go.
Once again, Windham unable to find any offensive wiggle room here. And with a little over 10 minutes remaining here, they're going to send out the punt unit, down 8, and needing their defense to come up big again. That's going to send back number 15, Ricky Cody, back to the 50-yard line of midfield for the Eddies. He'll move back to the 48.
Remember, Max Bell has been fielding punts up to this point, so that does give you an idea of where he is in terms of usefulness for the rest of this game. Watch an eye on that fake now. Coffin back to punt. Snap is good. Kick is away. It's high and really short.
And is going to come out.
It'll be on the Windham side.
We'll mark that at the 46-yard line, I'd say. They're going to mark it at the 49, I guess. I guess it took a sharp left there.
Just as a point of clarification, we should totally have a conversation with Mr. Bessie in terms of how they can determine that, like how they walk down the line. There's got to be a system for it.
In the words of the late Tom Petty, I need to know.
We do.
Yeah.
We do need to know.
9:30 remaining in the fourth quarter, 14-6.
Wyndham can't clear the ball from their side of the field, so Edward Little's going to get it on the Eagles' 49-yard line here with 9:30 to go in this football game. Ahead 8 points, 14-6.
I would expect a lot of Mr. Bigos on this drive.
A whole heck of a lot. Protect the football. On the defensive side, if you are the Eagles, you got to try to strip one loose here and see if you can't force a turnover. Hartley in the shotgun formation. Fake handoff to Bigos. Pass over the middle is complete. Xavier Walker.
Weaver.
Or whoever number 7, Josh Hamill. Josh Hamill could have been gaining credit all night.
Josh Hamill could have had
We've
the
done
game
that
of his
before.
life.
We've done that before.
Oh, yeah. That happens.
1st and 10 from the Eagles' 36. Hartley in the shotgun. Bigos directly behind him. Play action to Bigos, looking to throw on the left-hand side. Intended receiver is Gerard, and it's incomplete.
Very, very surprised by all this throwing from Edward Little, up 8. Not using the clock to their advantage at all.
3 minutes have not taken off of this clock. I mean, if you're going to have a second offensive possession here, and you're not able to get a handful, 5-6 minutes off of this clock, you got to question what is it that you're trying to accomplish here? I get that you want to move the football down the field, but you've got some very capable guys, both in Hartley and Bigos, that can run. Hartley in the pistol formation again. Bigos directly behind him. He'll hand it off to him this time. Spinning, pickup of 3. So it'll be 3rd and 7.
See, and that's what you want to start doing there. You're up 8. Still plenty of time. Wyndham's going to have to get a touchdown and a 2-point conversion here. Use your running back. Get some positive yardage. 3 yards, 4 yards, a cloud of dust. You should be able to keep moving these chains and working this clock down, shorten this game up, and then get yourself to Garcelon Field next week with a chance to run the table.
30 seconds. You run 3 plays. You got a minute and a half off the clock.
Right.
Just inside 8.5 minutes to go. Hartley sends Bell in motion from the shotgun. Hartley looking to pass, looking to his left. Lebrec tackles him. Sack. 5-yard loss. Brought down at the 47. No, 42.
Bernier there to help clean up as well. Hartley's lucky that hit wasn't a little bigger.
I'll tell you, Lebrec, what we've seen, Justin Lebrec, a very, very strong interior lineman for the Eagles, and as the games wear on, he really has his way late in the 3rd and into the 4th quarter. So 4th and 15, a long down and distance here. Hartley is going to come out and kick this one away to the Eagles. Fair catch called for, and he's going to let it bounce in behind him. It'll be marked inside the 5.
That took a hometown bounce there with 7:31 remaining in the 4th quarter.
Wow. Heck of a punt that time by Hartley. Did the right thing, getting it way, way up in the air. Ball took a nice, friendly bounce. Fair catch called for by Windham, trying to distract some of the guys from Edward Little. They didn't buy it, followed it down. Pinning Windham deep in their own zone.
More scores from around the region. Lawrence cuts the Skowhegan lead to 44-35 after a Schooler 35-yard touchdown run. End of 3 quarters of play, Lewiston leads Portland 14-7. Nolan Potter 9-yard touchdown run for Wells. They lead Lisbon 29-6. 11:15 remaining in the 4th quarter there. Mountain Valley and Madison still 12-8. Madison leads Mountain Valley towards the end of the 3rd quarter. Old Orchard Beach leads Spruce Mountain 24-21. A minute 43 left in the 3rd.
Bernier again in the shotgun, looking to pass. Fakes out to the left. It's pump and go. Coffin's his intended receiver, and he catches it.
No, just missed it. Incomplete.
Just missed.
Had it, lost it, and he's going to see that one in his dreams all night long, both of them. Because if that was just thrown a hair underneath, probably would have been an in-stride touchdown.
He's had 2 touchdowns that he could have had in that pass right there. That would have been a 30-yard pass. Bernier put it in the right spot for him. Coffin just not able to collect it. It was a hitch and go, so trying to get him to bite on that early slant route, a double move that time by Coffin. Trying to get past Ricky Cody out on the left-hand side. Shotgun formation again. This time it's handed off. Pick up a 2. Going to be 3rd and 8. Ball is out to the 7. 3rd and 6 officially.
Approaching 7 minutes remaining. Wyndham's going to have to make a play here to keep this drive alive, or they're going to have to punt it from deep in their own end.
Bernier back to pass now, looking to the right-hand side. Throw is out, it's incomplete.
Just a hair off. He had Coffin, but the
kick is up and away. It's a good punt. Kicked off to the right-hand side. It'll take a favorable Windham bounce. It'll stay on their side of the field and roll out just shy of the 50, officially marked out at the Windham 48-yard line. And with 6:42 to play, Edward Little regains the football up 14-6 here in the MBR CMCC Hammond Lumber Game of the Week.
From the Spectrum Healthcare Partners broadcast booth.
I'll get them all eventually.
It's okay.
Yeah.
No. I just like to.
All of them.
Flip flop. Whichever one needs to be done.
1st and 10. Eddies. Now, I would really expect a lot of Caden Bigos. Maybe not. Bunch formation. 3 receivers on the right-hand side. Hartley is in the shotgun. He's got Bigos in the backfield with him. Hartley's going to keep it himself.
There you go.
Gain of 4, gain of 5. He's out. He's got a 1st down. Pick up a 15. Ball is all the way out. He's marked out at the 33-yard line.
That was a big-time run there by Hartley. That was a solid call. They've been waiting on Bigos basically the entire second half here. And big boy run there, and Hartley is tough to be stopped.
They keyed on Bigos, and they left the lane wide open for Hartley. Hartley made the right read and got to the hole. Shotgun formation again this time. Hartley running off to the left-hand side. He'll pick up 3 and then get pushed back. It's going to be 2nd down and 8. Well, they gave him 1. 2nd and 9. And why not? Limit the amount of times that ball's got to exchange hands. We hear Coach Haley talk about the shortest pass in football. The center quarterback exchange hasn't been a problem here tonight. But why exchange the football again? Wildcat formation here. Max Bell in the backfield. Hartley lined up to the right-hand side.
Very interesting. Bell was not well enough to take punt returns a minute ago, but now he's well enough
snap
to the
to Bell. Run to the right-hand side. He breaks free. Out to the 10. Brought down. Boy, nobody was expecting it. Nobody at all was expecting it. Bell collected the football. Off-tackle run to the right-hand side. Huge pickup that time.
Anthony Kilgallen saved a touchdown there.
Big tackle by Kilgallen. Bell is a guy that people think that he's going to get tackled and brought down. Instead, he keeps on going. And the Eddies are going to stay in that Wildcat formation again with Bell in the backfield. Direct snap to him. He'll rush to the right-hand side again. Cuts back in. Pick up a 2. And he's brought out. They'll keep the clock going. 5:08 to go here in the game. Edward Little ahead 14-6. Playing with that 8-point lead.
That was a solid run, and good job by him by staying in bounds there. Makes it 2nd and 4 at the 6-yard line with under 5 minutes remaining. And now we stopping the clock here? Yeah, we're going to stop the clock here.
Coach Perkins wants an explanation of something
about why the clock isn't stopped.
Okay.
And now they're going to stop the clock now with 4:43 remaining in the.
Mr. Bessie did signal to keep the clock on going. Okay, here we go.
Yeah, now they can keep it running.
Back they go. So regular formation, bunch of receivers to the right. Bigos in the backfield with Hartley in the shotgun. Ball's on the 6. Waiting, taking all the time they can off his clock. Hand off to Bigos inside. Pick up a 1.
Now at this point, making it 3rd and about 5. That still takes about 30, 40 more seconds off the clock here.
What Edward Little is doing is they're getting to the line of scrimmage and they're waiting to see the back judge start counting off the delay of game penalty. The back judge will count off the final 5 seconds of that delay of game to signal that he's going to give that call. So Hartley will stay in formation until that back judge starts to make the call and then call out his signal. Wishbone. Look at this. Pistol formation. He's got 3 backs with him.
And looks like a delay of game. I didn't see them.
I didn't see him count it off.
I didn't see him count it off.
Yeah, Hartley. That's what Hartley's looking for, too.
Because that's what they're waiting for there. They're waiting for the count off. That's going to push him back to the 10-yard line. However,
the clock will continue.
Yeah. Oh, actually, no, it won't. I believe it stops after delay of game. If it had been a false start or another penalty.
False start, that's the one.
Right.
Shotgun formation, 3 backs with him in the field. Fakes a handoff. Hartley looking down the field. He's going to keep it himself. He's got all kinds of room to the left-hand side. He's got a pylon and an end zone and a touchdown. Red Eddies take the 20-6 lead with 3:27 to go here in this game. Busted play. Hartley, eyes down the football field, saw the open lane on the left-hand side. We could see it clear as day from the press box. And the senior, on senior night, able to convert.
Made that big-time run there, saw nothing but green grass and hopes and dreams in front of him, and nobody from Windham was able to take it down. Of course, everybody was over on the right side. Good play by Hartley to get it over to the other side and open up on the wide side of the field there. So Edward Little takes a 20-6 lead. 3:27 remaining in the 4th quarter.
Weaver doing a good job getting down the football field and continuing his block down the field. Wide receiver blocking. hugely important. Snap is good. Hold is good by Gerard. And Willette kicks it through the uprights. It's going to be 21-6 Edward Little with 3:27 to go in this football game. It's the CMCC Hammond Lumber Game of the Week presented by MBR on Maine's Big Z.
Falmouth Orthopedic Center. Central Maine Orthopedics. OA Centers for Orthopedics. All play on the same team. Maine's top orthopedic practices have joined forces for more efficient and affordable orthopedic care. Introducing Spectrum Orthopedics.
Welcome back to CMCC Hammond Lumber Game of the Week, presented by MBR from the Spectrum Healthcare Partners Studios. Willette to kick it away for Edward Little. Wall and Coffin back to receive for the Eagles. Willette's had a little bit of difficulty kicking off. The one step in this one, boy, it's a good kick. Kick is away, fielded at the 20, out to the 30, 35, and pushed back to the 33-yard line. They might give him the 34 to gain, and they will. So from their own 34-yard line with 3:19 to play, Windham Eagles take control of the football. Have not had much success offensively here in the second half. The one score they had came as a result of a really nice offensive set that they had, a fake punt that kept them in it, marched the football down the field at the end of the second quarter, but otherwise, Edward Little holding him in. Bernier under center now, I formation, 2 wide receivers to his left. Fakes the handoff. Bernier's going to keep it himself, but he's brought down immediately. It's big number 50, Gunnar Winslow, only a sophomore, at the nose tackle position.
Bonnie Eagle continues. 51-0, they defeat Deering. Scarborough blanked Oxford Hills 49-0.
So 100 points between those two. So that, I think the top 3 teams in A South have scored 1,000 points. Bernier in the shotgun. 4 wide receivers said he's looking to pass. He's looking left. He wanted Valaire. Instead, he's going to try to tuck it and run. Up the field, gets to the 40, gets to the 45, and he's knocked out at about the 46.
Stop the clock with 2:38 remaining here in the fourth quarter. Windham down 21-6.
First down for the Eagles. They'll move the chains and mark the ball at the 46-yard line.
Remember how I told you MDI, Levitt, 36-0 MDI? Levitt ended up coming back in that one, but falling 36-22.
Wow. Credit to the Hornets. Burning in the shotgun again. Looking to pass, looking left. Pass is completed out to Valaire. Valaire at the 45, he's at the 40. All the way down to the Edward Little 35-yard line, and that's where they'll mark the ball. Big pass that time. It's a 20-yard pass play. Bernier out to Valaire.
2-possession game, however, clock stops every time they move the chains, and they can stop the clock when they get out of bounds. Onside kick. Going to need some stuff to happen here, but Windham can do it.
Handoff to Wall inside. Through the tackles. He's met immediately. Pick up a 3.
Not what you want on a play like that. You're hoping you're going to catch defense sleeping, pop one for about 10 yards, and then move the chains up again. Instead, that's going to run more time off the clock and bring us down to under 2 minutes. 21-6 lead for EL over Windham.
Be 3rd and 7 from the 37. Bernier in the shotgun. 2nd and 7, Bernier looking to pass. Scrambles out to his right-hand side, pointing downfield. Cody will chase him. Squirts up the field, out to the 10, out to the 5, and brought down. Boy, just cannot encapsulate Tanner Bernier.
Impossible to catch him. It's like trying to catch a water bug. Just squirts right through your hands. And he gets out of bounds alertly at the 5-yard line to stop the clock. Actually, no, he sat down there, and team is going to move, so he didn't get out of bounds, but they do stop the clock to move the chains with 1:30 remaining, and timeout is going to be called by Edward Little here to stop the clock with 1:32 remaining in the fourth quarter. Windham.
6-yard line. You got 1:32 to go. Still going to score.
Might as
Still
well
gonna
talk
score.
about it, figure it out, go from there.
Well, I think what happens here is Windham, as every first down they pick up, they rush right up to the line of scrimmage, get another playoff. Rush right up, get a line of scrimmage. So this timeout allows some of the defensive unit for Edward Little to get their breath a little bit, see if they can come up with a good strategy here in terms of how they can dig their heels in. This is a big, big, big opportunity for them in terms of character building. This is more than just a 21-6 game. Keeping this team scoreless in the second half is something Coach Sterling would pride himself on.
Lewiston fumbles with 5 minutes remaining in the fourth quarter. Portland marches 18 yards to Ron Moss with a 6-yard touchdown run. Kick is good. 4:21 left in the fourth. Lewiston, Portland tied at 14.
Wow. Heck of a game. And those would seem to me like two evenly matched teams.
Portland might be the team nobody wants to play.
I tell you, they are dangerous. Dangerous.
Well, a lot of people are going to be trying to stay out of that 3 seed.
I formation, Valaire and Watson in the backfield. Handoff is to Valaire. Kaiser tried to bring him down. He's short. Brought down to the 1.
Looked like he had extended it over the line there, but the side judge said no. Minute 20 remaining. They're going to head up to the line, and my guess is Bernier's going to get right under center, maybe dive forward.
Same play. I think he's going to hand it right off to Valaire again. Handoff right away to Watson.
Stops the clock with 1:07 remaining in the fourth quarter. Now 21-12. All important either 2-point conversion or extra point here will tell you all you need to know.
Quick snap. It was a dive play to Watson, and really from the half-yard line, not a whole lot of resistance. He was able to pop right through. Now 21-12. This becomes a huge PAT, Matty.
Ginormous. And they've had some issues with PATs. It looks like they're not going to be kicking the PAT. They are going for 2. You're going to need an onside kick, but we'll deal with that in a moment.
So they'll come out in shotgun formation. 3 wide receivers to the left-hand side. Watson will be in the backfield with Bernier. Watson to his right. And we've got delay a game against Windham.
Not what you want there.
Second time they've had a delay a game on a PAT.
Not what you want. And now they're going to call timeout? Or now they're going to kick the PAT. So they're not going to go for 2 now. Now they're going to kick the PAT.
McCusker's a guy that can kick it. I mean, he's definitely got the leg to kick it. We saw him miss one earlier. So that might be why Coach Perkins is a little bit gun shy. This to make it a single-score game here. Snap is good. Hold is good. Kick looks good. And
Kick is good.
So with 1:07 to play, Edward Little 21, Windham 13. This is the CMCC Hammond Lumber Game of the Week presented by MBR on Maine's Big Z.
Our goal here at Maine Athletic Fundraising is to raise your program or group the most amount of money possible in the shortest amount of time, hassle-free.
Over the last 3 years, we've been able to raise over $10,000 every year, which has really allowed us to get the extra stuff the kids really need to run a successful program.
One of our biggest goals at Maine Athletic Fundraising is to really develop a relationship on the ground with the coaches, the community, and the boosters that are involved, and help bring them together and understand how important it is to fundraise.
Welcome back to Walton Field. Edward Little Red Eddie's lead the Windham Eagles by a score of 21-13. This is the CMCC Hammond Lumber Game of the Week presented by MBR.
From the Spectrum Healthcare Partners broadcast booth.
Spectrum Healthcare Partners broadcast booth.
1:07 remaining here in the fourth quarter. Make sure you subscribe to MBR Sport on YouTube. You can be notified when we go live. The next time we'll be going live will be next Friday. Battle of the Bridge, Lewiston, Edward Little. Will Lewiston and Edward Little both be coming off of wins? Well, we'll have to find out. EL looking good here, but they're going to have to survive this onside kick. And Windham, no stranger to making big special teams plays when it counts.
Want to check out that Spectrum Spotlight tomorrow.
Yes. Johnny Mailer will have that going. He'll have the post game as well later on. He'll talk to the player of the game. Follow MBR Radio on Twitter for the Spectrum Spotlight.
Onside kick is away, and we'll let. Oh boy, ball was loose. Bunch of people trying to get it.
I believe Edward Little has it.
No official call yet.
But it was.
Boy, bunch of jerseys down. Edward Little does have it. Edward Little keeps the football. So officially recovered at the 37-yard line. That's where Edward Little will get it with 1:04 to play here in this game.
quite the series.
Boy, it's been tooth and nail. Nothing's been clean in this game, that's
from
for sure.
either side all game long. Edward Little has earned every one of their victories so far.
Looking to move to 7-0 are the Red Eddies, while the Eagles would drop to 3-4.
Edward Little at Garcelon Field next week at Bates, taking on Lewiston, the Battle of the Bridge.
Bunch formation to the right, Hartley in the shotgun. He's going to keep it himself, run off to the right-hand side. Two hands on the football, and inside of a minute now, pick up a 2.
Windham will take a timeout. We'll keep it here. Try to get you some scores.
Wyndham's going to make him earn it.
They will. Cape Elizabeth held on to beat Freiburg 21-7. Was your final there? Actually, 23-7 was the final. Both teams now 5-2. Lewiston in Portland territory with 2 minutes 20 seconds left. That's over on the Z 105.5 AM 1240 if you're looking for that one. Still no update on the Mountain Valley Madison game, which was real close for quite a while.
Well, it got started a little bit late too.
It did. Senior night for a lot of teams in the state.
Coach Sterling off now. Max Bell in the Wildcat formation.
Which is what changed it for him here in the second half.
He'll keep it, run off to the left-hand side, pick up a 6, 7, 8, a first down. That's what we got. All the way out to the 50-yard line. They'll stop the clock just to set the chains, but in not long, they're going to keep it going.
Wyndham's going to take their final timeout here, and that's going to wrap it up. All Edward Little will have to do now is take a couple of knees and book it home.
Latrell Thomas, Gunnar Winslow, Alex Merchant, Dawson Tracy, the offensive line for Edward Little up front. Done a heck of a job tonight. Really given Hartley time to throw. They've given him lanes to run when he's needed to. And they've controlled the line of scrimmage and haven't had much penetration get through from some talented interior defensive linemen in Lebrecht and Grover on the Windham side.
Max Bell playing with some type of leg injury there, but has been gutting through it. It took him out of the punt return game, but he has been running the Wildcat here in the second half and doing just fine. Thank you very much.
2 more plays is all it's going to take from the Red Eddies. Pistol formation. A modified wishbone. He's got backs to his left and right, one behind him. And he's just going to take a knee. And it'll get just inside 40 seconds, so all they got to do here, no need to wait. They can just take one more quick knee here, and it'll be all over. That's just what they're going to do. They're going to wait. I love this. Don't wait until there's 3 seconds left. Just go ahead and do it.
Just go ahead. Set it down. There you go. Now you don't have to worry about any of it. Hartley's like, man, I'm ruining my yards per rush here.
That's going to do it, Matty. Edward Little going to go to 7-0 in Class A North with a 21-13 victory over the Windham Eagles. Player of the game?
We'll talk about that right around the corner. Let's take a quick break, and we'll come back with our player of the game here on the Game of the Week.
Falmouth Orthopedic Center. Central Maine Orthopedics. OA Centers for Orthopedics. All playing on the same team. Maine's top orthopedic practices have joined forces for more efficient and affordable orthopedic care. Introducing Spectrum Orthopedic.
Our goal here at Maine Athletic Fundraising is to raise your program or group the most amount of money possible in the shortest amount of time, hassle-free.
Over the last 3 years, we've been able to raise over $10,000 every year, which has really allowed us to get the extra stuff the kids really need to run a successful program.
One of our biggest goals at Maine Athletic Fundraising is to really develop a relationship on the ground with the coaches, the community, and the boosters that are involved, and help bring them together and understand how important it is to fundraise.
All aboard MBR.org, the place to get all your high school and amateur sports news and information. MBR.org is in high gear with Maine high school winter sports. Go to MBR.org to chat about your favorite team. Find the latest articles, travel news, and cancellations. Or visit their all-new and very popular team pages. MBR.org has everything you want to know about high school and amateur sports in Maine. Coming in February, all the high school tournament action at your fingertips 24/7. It's high school sports heaven. All aboard MBR.org.
Welcome back. MBR Game of the Week from the Spectrum Healthcare Partners broadcast booth. Final score, Edward Little 21, Windham 13. Player of the game.
I think we got to credit the seniors. It's senior night here. Edward Little, a whole host of seniors, and there's a lot of guys that I think you can take into consideration. Grant Hartley, of course, the quarterback for Edward Little, had a heck of a game as a signal caller, did a nice job distributing the football. But to me, the key of the game was Max Bell. Offensively, defensively, he played a role at special teams and really had a hand in this game from start to finish, even right up until the last series where a less than optimal Max Bell able to come in and still run a play and help melt the final seconds off of this clock. So, player of the game for this week, senior Max Bell.
Congratulations to Max. Did a good job coming up clutch there. Also, Grant Hartley did a good job in this one as well, and that entire Edward Little offensive line. Big game for them. Big game for them next week against Lewiston. Lewiston in action against Portland right now. Portland is driving. They are in Lewiston territory. Flip it over to 105.5 AM 1240, and you can catch the ending of that. We'll wrap it up right now. Again, your final score, EL 21, Windham 13. We'll catch you next week from Garcelon Field. Battle of the Bridge here on the MBR Game of the Week from the Spectrum Healthcare Partners Studios. On the radio side of things, it's Maine's Big Z, 92.7 Sports Time 780. CMCC Hammond Lumber Game of the Week. Now back to your regularly scheduled programming on 92.7 Sports Time 780.